Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/surviving infidelity, where OP found out that his wife and his own brother were having an affair for months. Let's begin. I found out my girlfriend has been cheating on me while on a trip across Europe. Posted by Reddit user June0097.
To start off, I have paid for most of the trip. She has helped financially by paying for some hotel stays and some meals while out here. The trip was my idea. It's partly to celebrate my birthday and Valentine's Day. I found out she was cheating on me because while in Madrid, we had an argument after a night out of drinking. The bar we were at had closed during halftime of the Super Bowl. So upon closing, one of the employees got on top of a chair and started yelling at everyone to follow him to a bar around the corner. Apparently, it was another bar owned by the same owner that would remain open to watch the remainder of the Super Bowl. When that happened, we had agreed to just go back to our hotel and watch the remainder on my phone while in bed. However, she needed to use the restroom. Since we were getting told to leave the bar, I told her they probably wouldn't let her go use it. I asked her if she could hold it for 5 minutes while we got to our hotel room. She said yes, but that we should hurry, so I rushed out the bar with her, navigated our way to the hotel. During our walk over there, she asked to see my phone so that she could watch the Super Bowl halftime show while we were walking. I was still rushing and waiting for her as she was distracted watching the halftime show. We missed a green light because of her, causing us to wait for some traffic to pass before crossing the intersection. So we got to our hotel, rushed in. Upon being in the elevator, she started saying she couldn't hold it anymore. As soon as the elevator doors opened, she rushed out, slammed doors into the restroom, almost fell over the toilet making a loud noise. At 3 a.m. she didn't make it, peed on herself slightly, and I got upset at her. I didn't tell her anything, just nodded my head in disappointment, and we started arguing. She blamed it on me, saying that I forced her to come back to the hotel and everything was my fault. Receptionists even came upstairs while this was going on, and told us to be quiet and have respect for the guests that were sleeping. She had also spilled her drink all over the halls while running to the restroom. So I apologized, cleaned up the mess she had done, and went into our bedroom after. When I got in, she was really mad and drunk, telling me that I was an asshole and that it was my fault. After explaining to her how we were forced out, she took forever walking to the hotel and going back and forth about whose fault it was. I just decided to accept it and take the blame for the sake of the trip. She then walked out and said she needed to talk to her mom. She tells her mom everything, even our relationship issues. I told her to stop, and she decided to come back in and put the Super Bowl game on her phone. She watched it till she fell asleep. During that time, I used the restroom, showered, and got ready for bed. When I was finally done, she was sleeping, but her phone was unlocked on the bed. She was completely knocked out drunk. Out of curiosity, I went through her phone, which I never do, to see if she had told her mom anything about us. She texted her mom, "I'm breaking up with him after this trip." She told her that I was boring and that her ex-boyfriend from many years ago was better, and also said another guy, which is her old coworker. This guy I had met before, and she had told me they were just friends. They still work at the same company, just different locations. So I proceeded to look up the messages with him, and mostly it was regarding work. But then I came across some messages where she invited him over to her place. Some messages were either missing or they called each other. I can't prove 100% she cheated, but her telling her mom that he's better for her and seeing messages where she invites him over, I think is enough, right? I haven't said anything about it. I have kept quiet. We still have a week left on our Europe trip, so I'm pretending everything is okay. She also told her mom that she's going to have me keep paying for everything, so now I'm letting her pay for more things. The next day she deleted the messages with her mom. I saw because she sent a picture to her mom and showed me her messages briefly while showing me the picture she sent her mom. My plan is to pretend I know nothing, enjoy the rest of the trip, have her spend more money, and break up with her once we get back. Am I in the wrong?
OP, she wants to use you as an ATM for the rest of the trip and then dump you. Dump her now so she can't. Enjoy the rest of your trip and don't let her use anything you paid for. Leave for your next location alone and get your own hotel room. Block her on everything after. She can enjoy the rest of her trip solo and pay for everything herself, or she can ask her ex-boyfriend for money so she can get plane tickets home. Either way, she's none of your concern anymore. And now for today's second story. My wife of 22 years cheated on me with my brother 17 years ago. Posted by Reddit user Phineas T. Bird Pockets.
Not even sure where to start this story. My wife and I dated all of high school and went to college together. We have literally been each other's everything since we were 14. We were each other's first. We married at 20 and had a kid at 23. We scratched our way up to middle class from literally nothing. It would be an understatement to say that our lives are so intertwined that separating would be catastrophic for both of us. I love this woman with every fiber of my being, which makes this betrayal so much more difficult. Fast forward a few years to 2006, when our daughter is 2 years old. My brother, 5 years older than me, is recently divorced from his wife. He was trying to get back on his feet, so I wanted to help in any way I could. I offered him our spare room for as long as he needed it. We cooked for him, cleaned up behind him, and helped him get his life together. After a few months, I noticed that he and my wife were buddying up a lot more than normal. I started noticing things that didn't quite sit right. I am yada 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 a lot of details, but eventually they started texting all the time and talking on the phone when he wasn't at our house. I knew there was something going on, but every time I brought it up, I was made to feel like a jealous idiot. After a while, there was little to no attempt to hide it. I went into a dark spiral of depression. The only thing that kept me going was my daughter. This went on for several months. One day I finally checked my wife's phone and saw that they had been sexting. My world absolutely fell apart. Trying to be the bigger person, I called them both together for a sit-down. They both agreed that nothing had ever been physical. They looked into my eyes and swore to me that the sexting was the extent of the affair. I swallowed my pride and tried to forgive in an effort to keep my family together. I would not hesitate to say that this incident broke my brain. I have suffered from severe depression and anxiety as a direct result of this betrayal. Fast forward 17 years to the present day. My wife and I have had another child. Our lives are finally becoming comfortable. Life is good. On some idle Wednesday, my wife and I were talking and I caught her in a small lie. After needling her for hours, she finally admitted to kissing, snuggling, basically dry humping, over the clothes fondling, sending nudes, and phone sex. My life seemed to fall apart worse than it did 15 years ago. I called my entire life into question, including the fatherhood of my second daughter. She has his blue eyes. I spoke with my brother and let him know that I had my wife's side of the story, but now I needed his. Based on how they matched up, I would decide on how drastically I would take this. I used everything in my power to interrogate him for hours. For the most part, their stories lined up. There was a lot of I don't remember from both of them though. I highly doubt that is something easily forgotten. I let him know that we were done and to never contact anyone in my family again. During the interrogation, I caught them in a lie about when the affair ended. They had promised me that the affair had ended back when I caught them the first time 17 years ago. However, through some Sherlock-level observations, I proved that their affair kept going after I caught them. This devastated me. I was so fragile, betrayed and broken, I considered just ending it so many times and she knew this. They both did. It kills me to know that I was so close to ending myself and she couldn't keep herself from him. Fast forward a month. After catching my wife in more lies, her entire story unraveled and she admitted to having sex with him while she was at a work conference. She claims that this only happened once and that it was very awkward because he couldn't maintain an erection. She said she faked an orgasm, he finished and then he immediately left. According to her, they never had any more physical contact, and my brother married another woman and has been with her ever since. I may be a fool, but I am confident that the affair ended about 6 months after I caught them the first time. I don't know if I should believe that she has been faithful ever since. So anyways, here I sit. I have been married to this woman that I adore for 22 years. Our entire lives are woven together, so much so that I question if either of us can function without the other. I feel betrayed all over again. My wife is telling me that she lied to me to save our marriage and that I can't hold her responsible for dumb things she did 17 years ago. I am really trying to make peace with this, but I don't have a clue where to go from here. Is it worth ruining my life and decimating my family to teach my wife a lesson about something she did 17 years ago? Am I just being an idiot for believing her? I honestly don't know, but I feel that dark abyss of depression slowly creeping back to the front of my mind. It frankly scares the hell out of me and I don't know where to go from here. I am trying to maintain some semblance of normality for my youngest daughter. She has 4 years of high school left, so my plan right now is to move into our basement for the next 4 years. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I don't feel like a man. I have lost all confidence in myself. I just feel like some useless weakling that can't stand up for himself and has been made a fool of time and time again. Please help me, anonymous strangers of Reddit. Update: everything went sideways this morning. I caught her in another lie, and finally she admitted that they had sex multiple times in Fleabag highway motels while I was away for work, just like so many of you said. So slight change in plans. I have a lawyer. My daughters both know. Her family knows. She is moving to the basement until alternative arrangements can be made. I will be keeping the house. Thank you all for your kind words and support. Update 2. I am doing a little better. My brother still refuses to respond to me. I am pretty sure that he blocked my number. So I decided to tell his wife, his ex-wife, his daughter, as many of his friends as I knew, and his employer. If I can't have my pound of flesh, I will spread chaos in his world. Despite not having anyone to turn to, I feel like I am in a better place. I honestly thank all you anonymous internet strangers for giving me the pickup I needed. Out of all the posts and replies, I don't think I got a single negative one. That speaks to all of your quality and caliber. This will probably be my last update. I promise I will pay it forward.
Seriously, you can't hold her responsible for something she did 17 years ago? What kind of stupid fucking idea is that? Then how about lying to your face every single day for 17 years? Can you hold her responsible for that one then? Come on, man. This is someone who isn't remorseful and wants you to move on and forget. That's what you're dealing with. But I am glad that you're finally divorcing her and told everyone what a piece of shit she and your brother are. Look, I hope someday you will still give us an update about how this shit show unfolded for them. Until then, OP, I wish you well. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.